In this video, we will show the installation of the WD Electronics turn signal kit with integrated headlights for 2025 and newer CFMOTO UFORCE 800XL models. Release the front hood panel by pulling down and out on the rubber locking tabs. Repeat on both sides of the hood. Once the locks are released, lift the hood panel forward into the upright position. Locate the large rubber grommet in the center of the firewall where the large factory harness passes through. Unwrap the black electrical tape that is sealing the opening of the grommet. This will allow you to run cables underneath the dashboard and through the firewall. Locate the factory electrical box behind the winch block and to the left of the two relays near the center of the firewall. Remove the two push pins shown here on the right and left side of the box. Move the electrical box to the side. Now, you will install the turn signal lever onto the steering column. Use a 10mm socket and wrench to remove the nut from the right side of the bolt for the tilt piston. Leave the bolt installed with the threads exposed on the right side. Hold the lever with the WD logo facing you and install the open hole on the bracket over the threads on the right side of the tilt piston bolt. You may need to rotate the bracket to fit over the bolt. Hold the body of the switch parallel to the face of the steering wheel and reuse the factory nut to secure the switch in place. Feed the wiring on the turn signal switch underneath the dash into the space below the instrument cluster. You will connect it in the next step. Now, you will mount the control module underneath the dash. Our recommended location is under the dash on the flat panel in the center of the machine, near the rubber firewall grommet. There should be two open holes for the electrical box push pins that were removed. Locate the 4 self-tapping screws and 4 3M adhesive squares in the bag of hardware. Install one adhesive square to the bottom of the control module, one in each corner. Center the control module on the flat panel underneath the dash with the 4 connectors facing the driver's side. Firmly press the control module into place to secure the adhesive. Locate the power cable in your turn signal kit. Route the bullet connectors through the center grommet in the firewall. Pull the wire through to the control module. Connect the power cable to the control module using the mating bullet connectors. Verify that it's connected red to red and black to black, and that the plastic insulation is fully covering each connection. Use 2 to 4 self-tapping screws to secure the control module to the panel. Be careful not to over-tighten the self-tapping screws, or they may strip the plastic and lose their holding ability. Tighten them just enough that they're secure. Route the 3-pin connector on the power cable to the mating 3-pin connector under the hood. Wait to connect the power cable until the end of the installation. If desired, you may also remove the storage panel at the bottom edge of the dash. The installation can be completed without removing this panel, but it may simplify the installation if you remove it. The panel is secured with a combination of Torx bolts, hex bolts, and plastic push pins. Locate the wiring on the turn signal lever you fed under the dash and connect the wires together using the mating connectors. Verify that the connectors click into place fully. Locate the factory 8-pin connector for the headlights and dash indicators underneath the dash. It's located on the driver's side of the firewall, near the power steering motor. Remove the plug from the mounting location by pulling it down off the mounting tab. The wire for the 8-pin connector is wrapped around the thick wiring harness above it. Unwrap the wire to give yourself more wire length. Remove the dummy connector from the mating connector by pushing the locking tab down and sliding the inner connector free. Locate the front turn signal and dash indicator harness. Connect the 8-pin connector on the harness to the mating factory connector. Verify that the connectors snap together fully. Route the 4-pin connector on the headlight harness to the control module under the dash. Connect it to the mating 4-pin connector on the control module. Verify that the connector clicks into place. Secure the factory 8-pin connector under the dash. If desired, you may clip the connector back to its original mounting location by pushing the plug up onto the mounting clip. Secure the wiring away from any hot or moving components under the dash using the included zip ties. Open the tailgate and remove the Phillips head screw from each side of the tailgate opening. Remove the 3 Allen head bolts on the side of the dump bed beneath the 3 tie-down points. Lift the dump bed and remove the Phillips screw and the silver 13mm bolt under the taillight. Repeat on the passenger side. Pull down on the side panel to move it over the 3 tie-down points. Locate the white connector at the driver's side taillight. Carefully disconnect the connectors by lifting the locking tab on the larger connector up and sliding the smaller inner connector free. Install the driver's side adapter with the extra black and blue connector in line with the factory taillight wiring. Make sure that you hear both sides click into place. Locate the large white connector at the passenger side taillight and carefully disconnect it by lifting the locking tab on the larger connector up with your fingernail and sliding the smaller inner connector free. Install the passenger side adapter with the long white wire in line with the factory taillight wiring. Make sure that you hear both sides click into place. Route the long white wire across the bed following the factory taillight wiring to the driver's side taillight and up into the taillight cavity. Follow the factory wiring as closely as possible. There should now be 3 wires with bullet terminals at the driver's side taillight. You will connect these wires in the next step. Remove the front center floor panel. It's held in with 4 Torx head screws, 1 on each corner. Remove the front passenger seat bottom by lifting it from the back. Remove the rear seat the same way by lifting from the back. Remove the rear center floor panel. It's held in with 6 Torx screws, 3 on each side. Remove the plastic tray under the rear seat by removing the 2 push pins located on the front corners. Locate the large black cable with the 3 inner wires, red, black, and white, and the 3-pin connector. Start under the dash and connect the 3-pin connector with the white clip to the mating connector on the control module. Route the wire through the center grommet in the firewall. Locate the wire on the other side of the grommet and pull the length of wire through. Locate the factory wiring harness to the left of the firewall grommet. Route the cable following the factory wiring harness across the firewall and underneath the floor panel. Locate the wire under the floor panel. Pull the length of the cable through and continue following the factory harness back underneath the floor. Locate the cable in the second row of seating under the floor panel. Continue to pull the length of cable through and follow the factory harness back underneath the floor. Lift the tilt bed and locate the cable on the passenger side of the machine near the battery. Follow the thick factory wiring harness up the vertical frame and continue following it along the passenger side frame to the rear of the machine. From here, follow the white wire on the passenger side taillight adapter to the driver's side taillight. At the driver's taillight, make the 3 connections between the long black cable and the taillight adapters using the color-coded bullet connections. Connect the wires red to red, black to black, and white to white, and make sure the plastic insulation is fully covering each connection. Go back and secure the black cable to the factory wiring harness along the length of the machine with the included zip ties. Secure the white wire underneath the bed as well. Locate the horn housing in your kit and install the round end of the bracket onto the stud using the provided nut. Tighten the bracket hand tight. Wait until later to fully tighten the bracket down. Locate the 10mm bolt in the bag of hardware. We recommend using the factory threaded hole on the passenger side of the frame to mount the horn housing. Orient the opening of the horn facing down so that it won't collect water. Tighten the nut on the horn housing and screw the bolt into the factory threaded hole. Choose an open rocker switch slot in your dash, either in the center switch panel or near the key cylinder. Pop out the plastic cover from the slot and discard it. Locate the horn harness with the rocker switch. Feed the entire horn harness through the slot. Verify that the rocker switch is facing the correct direction and clip the switch into place in the dash. Locate the black and blue 2-pin connector behind the dash. Connect the 2-pin connector to the mating connector on the control module. Locate the remaining red and black wires with the spade connectors. Feed the end with the spade connectors through the grommet in the center of the firewall. Locate the wires on the other side of the firewall and pull the length of wire through. Route the spade connectors toward the fuse box, then follow the frame towards the passenger side. Connect them to the horn housing in either direction. These connections are reversible. Secure the wiring with zip ties, following factory wiring or the frame as closely as possible. Make sure to secure the wiring away from any hot or moving components. Using the license plate bracket as a template, mark the position for the 2 holes using a marker or center punch. Tilt the dump bed up and verify that the bracket cannot contact anything like the tire, the frame, or the exhaust when the bed is tilted all the way up. Use the 2 included self-tapping screws to secure the bracket to the frame. Trim a small 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch tab out of your license plate frame for the wiring harness to pass through. Bend the tab over flat or cut it off. Install your trimmed license plate into the LED license plate frame. Line up the top 2 holes on the frame with the holes on the mounting bracket. Secure the frame and license plate to the mounting bracket using the 4 included black bolts and nylon lock nuts. Connect the power cable with the 2-pin connector to the mating 2-pin connector on the driver's side taillight adapter that you installed earlier, making sure that they clip together fully. Route the other end of the cable with the bullet connectors to the license plate bracket. Connect the power cable to the LED frame using the mating bullet terminals. Verify that it's connected red to red and black to black, and that the plastic insulation is fully covering each connection. Secure the wiring away from any hot or moving components. Any extra length of cable can be secured in the space behind the taillight. Locate the 3-pin connector under the hood panel in front of the fuse box. Remove the 3-pin dummy connector from the mating connector by lifting the white locking tab up and sliding the smaller inner connector free. Connect the 3-pin plug to the factory mating connector and ensure they click into place. Secure any extra length of wiring under the dash with zip ties. Now, you're ready to reassemble and test out your lights. To ask us installation-related questions or to order a premium turn signal kit, please visit wdelectronics.com.